Hello, 8th grade scientists. This is Miss Ludwig, and I am going to go over your assignments for week 7. So we are still in the periodic table unit, and your assignments this week are going to run from September 28th until October 4th. So make sure that you complete all of the assignments from top to bottom in this module, and you have them submitted by October 4th. So at the top, as usual, is your week at a glance, which is just your list of things to do to help yourself stay organized. And as we move on down from there, we have our daily to-dos. So on day 1, whichever day you choose to start, technically should be Monday, you will actually do the PT1 study guide questions. And I'm going to go ahead and click on this and open it for you. All right, here we go. So rather than creating a whole document that you have to keep up with for the periodic table unit, we thought that we would separate each section of questions for the periodic table study guide and let you work on it just a little bit at a time each week. So you can definitely use your PT1 digital notes when you're going over these questions to make sure you get them correct. Notice the directions say that you're going to complete these questions. When you're done, you'll click on the blue Submit Assignment button. And then you can just type your answers right into the box. So here are the questions. You should be able to answer all 6 of these questions from your notes from last week, the PT1 notes. So when you're ready to answer those, you'll click Submit Assignment, and a little window will pop up right down here. If you would, please number your questions. So you just type in number 1. The question is, how is the periodic table organized? The periodic table is organized by increasing atomic number. And you can find that information, again, right in your PT1 notes. And then you would just move on to number 2. Just make sure that you number the questions. That way we can keep track of which question you are trying to answer, and we can give you full credit. When you are done with those, go ahead and click the blue Submit button. And you get confetti, and that is it. Then you can scroll down to the page and go ahead and click the Next button to see what you're going to do next. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to this home view just so I can show you each thing that you're going to work on. So you did the study guide questions, you turn them in, you get a green check. You will move on to PT2 metals notes, so that you'll take those notes as you usually do and submit them. Then you will to your Quizlet, make sure that you try to get an 85% or higher on the options or on the quiz, and then go ahead and submit that. It is worth 10 points. On day 2, we have the PT2 study guide questions. So again, that's the same format. The questions are screenshot in there. You can use your PT notes to answer them. You just type your answers in there. Make sure you number each question again so we know which it goes with, and then go ahead and submit. Then you will move on to the PT3 notes about nonmetals and metalloids. And then you can do the vocab review using Quizlet, and you will screenshot your score of 85% or higher. I'm not sure if somebody has showed you this yet, but let me take a second. When you are doing the Quizlet and you have studied these words and you're ready to go on to the test, you click the test button. If you have not done this yet, if the written questions are really irritating to you, because if you spell things wrong or you don't put something exactly as it was, it'll mark you wrong, even though if you're technically right. So what you can do is at the bottom left-hand corner, you can click on this options button. Maybe options. All right, well, it's not going to let me do it, I think, because I'm recording. But if you click the options button, a pop-up window will appear, and it tells you what type of questions are on the test, including written. The first box is written. If you uncheck that box, you will not get any written questions. And then there's a big button at the top that'll say Create New Test. So go ahead and click Create New Test, and you can get rid of those written response questions so that it's not marking you wrong for spelling something wrong or for getting an S or whatever it may be. That's just a little quick pro tip. So after you have done your Quizlet vocabulary, on the 3rd day, we have a metals, nonmetals, and metalloids drag and drop activity. So you should have done the notes. By the time you get to this assignment, you will have done notes on metals, nonmetals, and metalloids, and you will know the characteristics of each one of those. So when you play this game, you just go ahead and click Start. It's a drag and drop activity. It gives you a little timer, and you just drag answers under whether you think that's describing a metal, a nonmetal, or a metalloid. Now I'm just throwing answers here, so don't really follow my answers. When you're done, click submit, and there will be a button at the bottom that'll tell you to show your correct answers, and it'll tell you which ones you got right and which ones you got wrong. So just something to practice and make sure that you're understanding all the words that we want you to remember for metals, nonmetals, and metalloids. Once you are done with that, you can move on day 4. We have the PT2 Metals Quizzes game. Remember, quizzes games are made just for practice for you. And then you can go ahead and take the Canvas quiz on metals. So the quizzes has the same questions as the quiz. So it is a good idea to practice with the quizzes and then go ahead and take the quiz so you can get a good grade. And then on your last day, day 5, you have the nonmetals and metalloids quizzes and then the nonmetals and metalloids quiz. Just a quick reminder in general, for all of your assignments, we are still doing the same basic 3 things for each note section. So in PowerSchool, your grades for your notes, let's say it's the PT1 notes, your grade in PowerSchool is worth 40 points, and it comes from 3 different things. You get 20 points for submitting the digital notes. That's 20 points. You submit them, you have to fill them out before you submit them to get a grade. Once you have done that, you can do the Quizlet, where you take the little Quizlet test, you screenshot your score of 85% or higher and submit it. That is worth 10 points. And then the last thing that you do is take that PT1 quiz, the Canvas quiz. So your whole grade for your notes is worth 40 points. 20 for the notes, 10 for the Quizlet, 10 for the actual Canvas quiz. If you are only submitting the notes and not doing the Quizlet and the quiz, then you're going to get a 50%, and we know that that's not a good grade. The opposite is also true. If you are just doing the Quizlets and just doing the quizzes, the Canvas quizzes, you're not getting the 20 points for your notes if you're not submitting them. So you're only getting half the percent. So in order to get your grades up to where you would like them to be, you need to do all of the things. The easiest way to go about that is to go to the modules view and start from the top and click on every assignment and complete it and get your green check marks as you go. If you have a green check mark next to every assignment by the end of the week, you're going to have an excellent grade in science, okay? All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to email your teacher, and good luck while you work and learn about the periodic table. See ya.